Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. I seem to have my video on the wrong way. So let's see if this works. There we go. All right, how's everyone doing? It's Friday! Or is it? That's the question. Who knows if it's actually really Friday today? Everything seems to be in a blur. It's all kind of one day's melding into the next. So I trust everyone is remaining safe out there, healthy and relatively happy in light of everything else that's going on around you. All right, the stress that's building up from being in self-isolation, or the stress that's building up from being in quarantine. Whatever scenario you're in, whichever environment you're in right now, I trust you're safe and healthy and happy and well, and you're with your loved ones. And if you cannot be with your loved ones, that you are at least in contact with your loved ones each and every day. All right, so I wanted to quickly share 4 ways that I help keep myself chilled in this environment at this time. Now, I understand and I respect that not everybody can come out into the park in the sunshine. It's a bit chilly, it's windy, breezy, but it's beautiful weather nonetheless. And I get to train out here every day. And it's a choice I make. I want to train, I want to keep active, I want to keep healthy in spite of what is going on. I want to make sure that I keep at bay as much as possible the mental strain, the mental fatigue, the mental pull down, that lockdown, that new terminology, lockdown. All right, so I'm just moving underneath this tree here, my beautiful meditation tree. And this is where I'm gonna my second area at which I keep myself chilled is my daily meditation. So first of all, I get my meditation out the way in the morning, not out the way, but I love to do it. It just helps keep my mind relaxed, keeps my mind focused through the day, and it helps clear out all those thoughts that are in my head. Even first thing in the morning, you wake up in the morning, you've been dreaming the night before, you've been processing what's been going on the day before, and if you've been watching the media, or if you've been on social media, if you're working, all these things are in your head at the time, so first thing in the morning. So a good meditation, I don't focus on anything, I just sit in peace and quiet, focus on the tick-tock of the clock, or the birds outside chirping, and just let whatever happens come through. That's the first thing I really do to help keep me sane, help keep me focused, keep me chilled for the day. The next best thing I do is I get outside as often as I can to do my workouts. If I'm not going to work out, like on the weekend, I go for a walk in the forest. I might take Laura out for a walk in the forest, just her and I, something outdoors as much as possible. And if you are in lockdown and quarantine, and you don't have a garden, just get your head out the window for a bit, maybe just get outside in your garden, on your balcony, get your head outside a little bit, get some fresh air, breathe some air in there. I know for those of you folks that are on lockdown in Dubai, for example, or somewhere in the Middle East, you don't necessarily have a garden, the luxury of a garden, or you don't even, in many cases, don't have a balcony. So do what you can just to get your head out. If you have to go to the shops, make an excuse to go to the shops, to go buy some groceries or whatever. You get your head out the window while you're driving to the shops, that kind of thing. Okay, so find a reason to get yourself out there a little bit, even if it's just for 5 minutes. It makes such a huge difference in our mental strength and our mental composure. So this is another factor that we need to take into account. The cops are coming past, the render shag just driving past now, making sure that we're not breaking the laws, we're not gathering too much in big groups or anything like that. So this is something I really appreciate, as I've touched on before. In Hungary, the folks here are just really abiding by what regulations and limitations have been put in place without forcing the government to put us into quarantine. It's so amazing. I really so much respect and love to the Hungarians that I've seen around town, even on social media and so forth. People are just being respectful. They're abiding by the rules as much as they possibly can without going nuts, and they're just taking into account that there are other people out there. They don't want to be infecting other people in case they have some kind of infection. So it's just much respect and much love to the Hungarians out there, man. So if you're Hungarian and you watching this live now, you watch the replay, respect. I appreciate that. The next thing is, I've touched on it earlier, is stay in contact with people that you know. Stay in contact with your friends, with family, with loved ones, even colleagues. Just check in on your colleagues. Let them know you're thinking about them. It makes such a huge difference, not to the person that you're reaching out to and you chatting with, but or even messaging for that matter. But it's also it does a lot to you. It does a lot to your soul. It helps keep your soul in check, keeps you in balance, helps remind you what's important in this life and on this planet. And that is community. That is the social aspect of our humanity, of our being, of who we are. And this is another massive tool. I do it every single day. I'll go on LinkedIn, I'll go on Facebook, and I wish people happy birthday when I see that's their birthday. And people come back and they are so they're chuffed, even if I don't know them, but personally, but they may be friends of mine on Facebook or LinkedIn. We're connected, and I just reach out to them and say hello. It costs you nothing to do that, and it just means so much to the person that you're reaching out to, especially in these times. Okay, because many people don't have families to be staying in quarantine or in self-isolation. They are single, and they just don't have the luxury of being able to spend time with other people. And as much as we may appreciate, like I do, I appreciate my time, which is one of the reasons why I do come out and train every day. I do meditate, but not everybody does like that. And even if you do like it, there's only so much my time that you can handle before you want to be around other people, even if you are an introvert. So it's I'm inherently an introvert, and I've taught myself to become more extroverted over time. But so therefore I like my own time, my quiet time. But I know people out there that are on their own and they hate being on their own. So just reach out to them, let them know that you're thinking about them, and it would make such a huge difference. And then the fourth thing is a routine. Try to maintain some kind of routine if you can. All right, it's so important. Every morning when I wake up in the morning, I have my golden hour where I have a routine I do first thing in the morning by myself while I'm awake. Everyone else is still sleeping. And then I have other routines set in place through the course of the day, things that I know I need to get through. I have my list of 6 tasks ideally that I should be getting through for the day, and I try to stick to that as much as possible. Not necessarily time-wise, but at least it's some kind of tasks that I'm doing. And this, by keeping that kind of discipline within your environment, your immediate environment, it just helps you to keep sane as well, because now you have something that you need to be doing. You have something that's a goal for the day. It could be washing the clothes, it could be cleaning the house, it could be mowing the lawn, whatever it may be. Create some kind of task every day for yourself, tasks for yourself every day to accomplish. Itemize them: A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3. So from order of importance down. And so the B's, if you just don't get through it for the day, that's okay. It's not the end of the world. But A's, you want to make sure that you do accomplish those. That's just an example for you. So meditate every morning or every day. Get outside and exercise, or exercise at home if you can't get outside. Do some form of exercising. Reach out to people that you know, even people that you don't know that are friends of yours on social media. Just reach out to them and say, hey, what's going on? I see you posting some great stuff on social media. I appreciate it. It makes a huge difference to everybody's life right now. Happy birthday, whatever the case may be. And then lastly is just have some kind of order in place, especially for those of you that are typically very productive. So if you have a productive lifestyle typically, and now you're at home, you're isolated at home, you're quarantined, and you're not working, you're not being as productive as you normally are, it's very important that you maintain some level of productivity, and itemizing a list of important things to do each and every day is going to go a huge way to maintaining that sanity for you, because there's only so much you can do by chilling. And what I mean by chilling is I mean by being idle. And when we become idle, this is a perfect opportunity for that negative energy, those negative vibes to creep into our life and to start pulling our attraction to other areas, our attention to areas that we shouldn't be going to. This is what happens when we are idle. So when you're idle, this is another thing I'm going to talk about in another live. I'm not going to get into too much depth about it now, because for many of you, this is the beginning of your isolation. Idleness can be a huge detriment to not just your productivity but your health overall. So there's only so much Netflix we can be watching. There's only so many things on social media we can watch before things start to get a little bit cuckoos. So bear that in mind. All right, idleness, as I said, I will make a video on that. I'm going to do a live on the idea of idleness and what impact it has on our lives. Since I learned to understand what that means, being idle, I've kept that reference in my mind, and it helps keep me focused. It helps keep me productive each and every day, because I understand the detriment, and understand, well, not potential detriment, but I also understand the potential downfall and pitfalls of being idle on a consistent basis. So just bear that in mind. All right, folks. So if you would like some more ideas on how to stay chilled in these times and how to keep yourself sane a little bit, reach out to me. I'll be happy to share some more ideas with you, or even the sources from where I get my sources from, where I've learned my tips from on how to remain calm, how to remain focused, how to keep things in perspective. So if you want to find out where my sources are, reach out to me and I'll be happy to share that with you. All right, so on that note, take care. Have a beautiful day. Enjoy your weekend. It is still the weekend, even if you're not going to work from Monday to Friday. It still is effectively the weekend. So try to do something together as a family. If you can, outdoors. If not possible, create some scenario for the kids, if you have kids, indoors, and kind of create some kind of a weekend feeling for them, so they don't just think it's just another day as well. All right, because weekends are very special to kids, especially young kids that are at school. It's an important 2 days of their lives, those weekends. It's a break for them as much as it is for you as a working parent. So just bear that in mind, okay? Take care. Have a beautiful day. Have an outstanding weekend. And I look forward to hearing from you. Asking me, just PM me, whatever. Message me on my phone, ask me for those sources, and I'll be happy to share. Okay, take care. Bye-bye now.